Alright, so I'm going to talk about Lose Like a Human, which is a film that I made with a couple of friends whilst I was in the Literature Modernity program. I'm going to talk about the process and what we learned whilst making it. So for a long while I've been afraid of Google, and I've had an interest in what philosophical implications AI has for our life in general. I took this picture at the Robots exhibition just across around the corner from the National Museum, and I've been trying to find ways of how I could explore those worries about Google through film. But this story really begins with the two nerds, myself and Fergus Doyle. There we go. This is just graduating. And so I met Fergus in the Literature Modernity program, and I also found that we had similar interests in sci-fi, but I found out that he was a writer as well, and had a couple of things published in the zine while he was studying in Prague. He sat over there. So we got to talking, and a local filmmakers collective called Neon Eye was having a networking night, so I brought Fergus along. And then whilst we met filmmakers there, we were working with Fergus told me about a true story about a chess game between a robot and its human creator. That's not a slide. And so we decided to make the film, but I got anxious about making the film, so I turned to our Holy Father Stanley Kubrick and said, if it could be written or thought, it could be filmed, which is easier said than done. But I thought, fuck it, why not? So I got to thinking about our popular culture lexicon, how it's been infused with worries about AI. So there you have it, the standards. But I got to thinking, it's like, okay, let's have something less sinister. And how can we change it up a little bit with a micro budget? As a fan of noir and German cinema, one of my favorite icons is Marlene Dietrich. Seen here in Shanghai Express, just a von Sternberg film. I got to thinking, okay, we could add elements that are more enigmatic, but also musical. Let's make this a sci-fi musical. So that pretty much started to inform how we were going to approach this whole thing visually. But it also approached how we were going to approach time. We were going to make a film about AI. A week after we released it, the discourse in AI was going to surpass it. Like AlphaGo was going to be Lee Sedol, which happened. So we had to have something more classic that would make the film lasting. So we had to focus on production design and setting and mood and atmosphere. Kickstarter. So we started a Kickstarter, which is a great platform for anyone making something like this, because you have to learn how to sell a product. And the way you do that is you have to think about the visuals. So it got us thinking about what video, but also what pictures we could construct in the limits of my own bedroom. So I got my chessboard, got all my charger cables, and my G36 Samsung, and with my Adobe Lightroom, just made something that was viable, and that informed how we were going to progress. Those are storyboards of a madman, myself, but then we got to Lady Connolly Jones as an ECA graduate to make my ideas more palatable to the rest of our crew. So we got her to actually really nail down the visuals. That man over there is sat right there. And the musical element, however. I had a friend who was also a flatmate called D.B. Hughes, who's an excellent songwriter, but he also knew Carl Lynch. And we needed to find a singer a la Marlene Dietrich that could not just sing really well, but could perform comfortably in camera, which is a rare combination to have sometimes. Once those elements were in place, we had to get to casting. So we got Sarah Michael and Jamie Begg, who knew nothing about chess, which is why we had a lot of rehearsals. But after about 25 or 30 interviews, even on a micro budget, you got to do it, even in David Hume Tower. And Paul as an enigmatic extra in a lovely suit. And one thing about a DIY project, though, is if you want a dolly shot, you get your friend to strap a camera on a picture frame on a wheelchair and pull it off. Now, you can't see it moving there, But I think it turned out pretty well. So, you know, you can do anything with the wheelchair that you have in your bedroom. I include this shot because when you're directing in this room in particular, everything fucks up. But you live for the moments where everything goes right too, lightning in a bottle. And for me, this picture is like everything kind of going right. Everything's it's a well-composed image as well. But everything was going right. The only thing about that, though, that I've learned from this project was you got to feed your crew to get lightning in a bottle. So in fact, we're eating the same food. We're good. But in order to keep up, in order to have everyone working at optimal energy and keep morale high, as director, you cannot panic because everyone else is, and you got to feed your crew. And after 3 days, everyone was well fed, but also. I felt like, even though we had people, all these people were doing this pretty much voluntarily for my own vision, the best thing about this was that a group of us got together and we made a film here, like, you know, and I think everyone sort of felt that. We were kind of like, yeah, all right, we did something, now get to editing. The thing about stress, though, is with my editor. The editor awaits the footage and then gets the footage and then has to take my pestering to make it perfect. So props to Owen Finnegan, who lives in Ireland. I was not witness to his uncaged rage, because most of it was through email, but it was a massive thing. At the end of the whole process, well, we won 2 awards for Best Original Score and Best Audience Choice Award at the Hyperdrive Festival, and we got to stay a little bit in Brighton, which was awesome. And I mean, yeah, there's not much I can say about that. We had a great time. Next up is, hopefully for you guys, it's now available online, and hopefully go see it, and even if you troll the comments, like, please watch the film before you do it. And I'd love to have a chat with you afterwards about it, you know, yeah, it was really quick, but yeah, thank you.